Now don't worry, this is not your computer misbehaving. How many times you've seen orphan windows like what I'm showing you on this screen? Why does this happen? The simple answer is programs are not being hygienic. That is, they're not cleaning up after themselves. Now, you cannot fault the applications themselves. If an application encounters an error, or if the user decides to kill an application, either ways, the system services that the application was using have to have a way of gracefully terminating and getting rid of the state, that is, the breadcrumbs it created along the way, and it may have strewn such breadcrumbs all over the computer. Some may be in data structures in memory, some may be visible like the orphan windows that I'm showing you on the screen, and so on. Bottom line is, these breadcrumbs are using up precious resources in the computer. It may be visible resources like real estate on your display of failed applications, or invisible resources like memory leaks, network bandwidth that is being chewed up by connections that are persisting beyond the life of an application, persistent data structures on the disk, and so on. LRVM and Rio Vista, which is really an implementation of the RVM semantics on top of a persistent file cache, took a very narrow view of recoverability, namely recovering the state that need to be persisted across system crashes, either because of software failure or power failure. But imagine a system service that spans several machines. A network file server is a good example. NFS is supposed to be stateless, which means that the client-server interaction maintains no state at the server pertaining to the clients. So what that means is taking down a file server and bringing up the file server again does not need any coordination with the clients that this file server may be servicing at any point of time. But look at what is happening from the point of view of the system, especially the client boxes that are interacting with the file system. In this case, there are clients all over the network so far as this file server is concerned, and indirectly, NFS server is leaving breadcrumbs all over the LAN because of accesses that a client may have made with the file server in each one of these boxes. Imagine what happens when a client program that initiated a file system call quits in the middle of its exchange with the file server. How will the file server know how to clean up all the mess? And in fact, with a stateless file server, it doesn't even know that there have been breadcrumbs created on this node. The short answer is the file system cannot know about these kinds of breadcrumbs that have been created all over the network. And I'm giving you file server as one example, but in general, all of the system services that a client program is reliant on create state. And these partial states may live forever if an application crashes in the middle. Worse yet, you as a user may be asked by the operating system to do some cleanup, not knowing what the cleanup may entail for you personally. Am I going to lose 2 hours of work that I just completed? I have no idea what will happen when I click the OK button here.